I'll be on Scarab Performance Show Saturday night, the 28th, I believe, promoting the book. By then, I definitely should have the link to buy the book if I haven't already put it on this video. And I'm sending him a book that he'll be able to give away to somebody for whatever reason. So that'll be cool. Almost got photobombed there. Yeah, so I'll be on the show on the 28th, the day after my birthday, and I'll be 42 because I'm going backwards. That's what I've decided. But that's another story in another video. So I think it turned out pretty good, except that it went off there at the end. And I'm still trying to explain to this young man about timelines and dimensions. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? Later on. So I got the book completed. When I put this out, there'll be a link below so that you can purchase it if you like. Mind Beyond Matter, The Mandela Effect. This is the complete book, finished, edited, done. Last night I had a Mandela Effect trivia. Had somebody come in to host it who a lot of people in the town know. Expected it to be a big thing. It was not, but it was a lot of fun. It really was. And if you get a chance to watch the entire live trivia, it's fun. It was a fun thing. I'm trying to get away from the fun thing. That's what I did with this. Tried to make it as serious as possible. I mean, the molecular structure of physical reality is changing. Or our consciousness is shifting through different timelines, or whatever. But it is something. We're sure of that. So here is just a couple of small clips I did throughout the week, I think. And I'm going to edit up the trivia. So I'll put a little of that on here. Oh, and there's also a clip where I spoke with a woman who spoke with my cats. Now, you'll probably just hear a little bit of that. I'm not going to get big into that. I will say that there was some communication going on for sure. My shredder. So it's occurred to me, nothing's new. Everything's redone or made better. Is that the case? Okay, because right now, I mean, look at cars. How much have cars changed in the last few years? Now, this has occurred to me before with TV shows and movies that have been redone. Now, right now, I'm watching Lost in Space on Netflix. And the thought came to me again, like, hey, this show is the way it was originally, and it was taken. Okay, somebody may have shifted back in time, which I already said is possible, absolutely. So they've taken this idea, this movie, shifted back in time, and could only do what you could do in the 60s. So now this occurred to me because Dr. Smith is a female, and that's the way it would be now. But back in the 60s, no, Dr. Smith would be a male. The robot would be less sophisticated. Probably wouldn't be an alien. You know, I'm thinking, okay, when this person took that idea and went back into the past and did it, had to come up with other ideas on how to bring the robot into the show. Just a thought, and I've had that thought with other TV shows and movies and all the stuff I shouldn't be watching. Just a thought. Well, I'm guessing that live stream went blank on me, but there's the Harry Potter VCR that I'll be looking for Philosopher's Stone. I mean, if it says Philosopher's Stone, then I know it's a Mandela effect. If not, then it won't be. What the island that the Statue of Liberty was on? What did they answer?
Most was Ellis.
Most was Ellis?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Nice. Not as big a crowd as we thought, but still, we got it going here.
Take my picture!
I'm sure this will be edited up and put in some other video.
Maybe.
You're live on YouTube, Laura.
All right, Tripp. Congratulations with your book,
Thank you.
who almost everybody is mentioned in here, in that book. So, thanks to you, Anthony.
Oh, wow, look at that look.
Okay. Most of you know almost all of these because Anthony's talked your ear off about them. So best of luck to you. We are going with this timeline. Do you need some, here, need help? We're going with this current timeline. All right, number one. One of Anthony's favorites.
You in, Carol? Yeah.
In,
yeah, nice.
was it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? When the Wicked Witch looks at herself in the
Mirror.
that mirror. What's that phrase that she says? Blankety blankety on the wall. Who's the fairest? Blankety blankety. Oh, just write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Don't say anything. Just write it down. Write it down. Don't forget your team name at the top. Yeah. Okay, number 8. What's his name? Oh my god. What's that guy's name?
Where
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. One of
Gump.
Forrest Gump's favorite lines, talking about his mama, mama's advice. Life blank like a box of chocolates. Life blank like a box of chocolates. Megan. Number 9. In the movie Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, when they approach Hagrid, I just had to watch this because I didn't believe it. When they approach Hagrid, hey, how's it going? Welcome to Silver Dollar.
Yo, you got applications over there.
Hagrid, we know about the blank stone. They confront Hagrid. They've met Fluffy. Hagrid, we know about the blank stone.
There's still evidence the old one.
We'll talk later.
It's going to be like 12 in round 1. It's like 3 rounds of 12, I think, is how this
Something like that, yeah, I couldn't
Trying to
really.
figure out my
Yeah,
paper space.
one per side. One per side. One per side.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Yeah, one per side. Number 10. The Mamas and the Papas. Well, I got down on my knees, and I blank to pray. I'm blank to pray.
So Luke's scoring back there. I told him to, I said, I don't know, we could score two, you know, one from this timeline and one from the other timeline, but there's could be multiple. So who knows? We're just going to score it as in this is the timeline we're in. That's the correct answer.
That's the correct answer.
Why the Harry Potter one then?
Why the Harry Potter
Yeah.
one?
Because there's still sorcerers.
It's not Sorcerer's Stone. And
Not
Luke,
anymore, but that's just like the
My
English
sister
version.
has.
but I've heard
Yeah, there's both. Like literally, that use like the old American movies say the Sorcerer's Stone, the Sorcerer's Stone.
there's only been one movie. It just says Sorcerer's Stone.
Right, but the English version.
And the
There was
Oh,
no
well, I
English
guess
version
it's-
of a movie. There was an English version of a book.
Yeah, but now they produce the movies saying the Philosopher's Stone instead of the Sorcerer's Stone.
I guess that's possible, but what I've looked at, I don't know. I have an old VCR, so if that's the case, it wouldn't be on that old VCR. They would
They
still
would
say
the
Sorcerers.
on that one.
Okay, well, because
Right, yeah.
I have the old tape. I just bought it for 50 cents not long ago.
The extended version says philosopher.
So the extended
Like, when I
version may
saw
have
it-
changed it.
When I saw it in theaters, it was Sorcerers.
Okay, so that's possible.
That's the UK.
No doubt that's possible. I'm going to look it up. Andy, what's your answer on that one? Hagrid, we know about the blank stone. Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone?
I don't know. I think it's sorcerers, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody remembers. But it says Philosopher's Stone. Luke just talked to my daughter on the phone, and she played it for him, and it says Philosopher's. Now they're saying with the extended version, it may actually be Philosopher's Stone, and that's possible. No, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, universities.
Yeah, well, that's what this is about. So yeah.
It could be both.
Well, yeah, I talked to her about it the other day with Matt. I was back there with them. Oh, grazie, grazie. That's a shame. Did you get Jade to sign your book? She edited it.
No, I forgot to have
could-
her sign it.
Ah.
Jade did, right?
Yeah, Jade edited
I
it.
meant
Her
to
name's
have her
in there.
I know. I
The
meant.
first page. Isn't it?
Or mine's not. I'm kidding.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
I'm just kidding. I'm just busting.
Didn't put her name in there as a dedication.
I'm just
And
busting. your
Dave, I miss
balls.
Dave too. I didn't Dave. I mean, come on, Dave. He's in half of my videos saying this is a great author.
Hey,
blah
at
blah
least
blah.
they got copy number 28
Oh,
of
look
100.
at that. That's funny. That's she wanted that. So.
You should look at Jake's.
Yeah. Well, that might have been a little fabricated. Jake's book. Jake, what number were you? Where's your book at?
Hey, give me your book number.
You.
Yes?
Oh, I got it. Now I have to go back and think of where you were. You were right after Laura. Is that what you want?
Yes.
But there's only 100 books here, Car.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter. She got the
so
extended
now-
version.
I want number one then. Thank you.
Aye, sorry, that's taken. That ain't happening.
6.6.
You already gave it number one away.
I even wrote in it. I said 1 of 100, yo. Anthony, you are the man. I wrote it to myself. You're all that. What'd you say, 13? Gotta write down what the heck I got here.
And Jake, really, you're gonna win this second round too?
I'm pretty sure I didn't win the first round.
not win the second round. Jake was pretty on top of all of this stuff.
Really, all my answers were smart answers. You didn't read. You weren't part of the team effort here.
No, you wouldn't let me be.
For 1918. So it says 13 of 100 signed at the Silver Dollar Saloon on April 19th, 2000. You're welcome. I have to write down what numbers I gave out.
You can't give out 69, 13, or 28. Or one, apparently.
Well, wasn't
I try not to.
Okay, number 10. What object on the top of Tweedledee and Tweedledum's
There it is.
beanies? What's on the top? Is it A, buttons, B, propellers, C, flags?
Which one? What's something that's
Flags.
not on top of there?
What's something? Yeah, which one is?
Oh, no, you're good.
No, which one? Which object is on the top?
Oh, it is on the
Yes, it's one of those three.
I
A,
wrote it down.
buttons. B, propellers. C, flags.
Okay. That doesn't have anything up there. Oh, they do have buttons on there. I guess they do have buttons on that. I don't think they have anything on there.
There's 2 more. Oh.
Number 11.
2 more questions.
I had a 1 to 10.
In The Wizard of Oz, what weapon does the Scarecrow carry? Is it A, a gun, B, a pitchfork, C, no weapon? C, no weapon. The Scarecrow, in The Wizard of Oz, which weapon does the Scarecrow carry? A, a gun, B, a pitchfork, C, no weapon.
Oh, you remember me talking to you about that?
No, I just wrote it down.
Oh.
Number 12. How many members are in the Village People? The band, how many members? Is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 6?
Should have made B4. That would have been cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
A, 4, B, 5, C, 6.
Uh-oh, we got a dance going on. Scoring? Oh, well, we're done. We're scoring. And we got
Interview with Anne Vampire or the Vampire?
a vampire or the vampire. Which one did you put in?
A,
Okay.
the Vampire?
That's what it was in another timeline. In this timeline, it's the.
Yeah, well, oh fuck.
Yeah. It's not your fault.
Can't we just do both timelines?
That's what I tried to talk to him about. How are we going to score this? Because, but the idea is your memory. I said we should score by their memory, but he said, nah, we got to go by this timeline. It's going to get too confusing. What if there's multiple timelines? So boom, we had to go by interview with everybody here, but that'll work. Give you a little tour. This piano here, Doc Holliday probably played piano on this. It's dated to where he would have been here at that time. To the people that frequented the Silver Dollar Saloon, Doc Holliday and his wife are up there in that picture. And up here we got the stage where we have a lot of older artifacts. This we just found downstairs in the basement. Yes, we just found it. It is a Wurlitzer. And it has been appraised at $14,000 broken. Okay. And just another old record player we found. This is the dining room. Customers. There's Eric. Hey. And there's so much history in this place, I don't even know where to start. If I thought it would reach, I'd take you down the basement. But
Nitley. I'm not so sure about that last one.
what was that?
Number 2. Dilemma. Dilemma. Occurrence. OCCURRENCE. Berenstain. STAIN. Folgers. FOLGERS. Fruit Loops. OOTLOOP. Number 7. Febreze. FEBREZE. OxyClean. OXI. Haas Avocados. HASS. Drano. DRANO. Looney Tunes. OO. HASS.
It was A in another timeline.
He just shifted.
It just shifted, brother.
Looney Tunes. TUNES.
That's what the whole book's about. You're gonna buy a book. That's what the
N' Crunch. Captain. Adidas. ADIDAS. Chevrolet. Some
ADD for some
a
people.
couple of D's.
for some people, me included.
Just hold, yeah. Just to get it a second. Chevrolet,
and when I did it,
CHEVROLET.
was every damn-
Skechers,
damn was added, so it didn't
SKECHERS. Snap, Crackle with a C.
Anybody
Pop,
do K?
Yes,
Like I told
there
you?
was one.
Yeah.
Lay, Z-L-A-Z, as in the letter, boy. Chick-fil-A, CHICK, F-I-L-A.
Anybody get that
Oscar,
one?
yeah. OSCARMAYER.
I need a point for that.
And Vaseline, VASELINE.
Check
it out.
answer.
I got a
How
point
many
there.
do I lose by?
There.
Do you know?
So call out all the scores.
No, don't.
No, is that let you do that?
There's no
No.
board.
I don't know what to.
I literally changed 3 of these and then I got them wrong from the originals, and I would have had them right.
Really?
Bullshit. Yeah.
That's pretty wild. You
I changed
them.
that.
No,
I
there
changed
you go.
that. I changed that.
Damn.
I added an E. I took an R off, and I put an A for an I. And then an I had in, right?
Wow, well, that's how I remember spelling it.
Bullshit.
Oh, I thought it was a T.
No, it just brings me back to always go off,
like
you
a
know,
Virginia
like
college.
first thoughts or whatever are always
Transfer.
I have 2 degrees.
You have 2 degrees and you got all those wrong?
Not in
I won't say where I went
Mandela
to
effect.
school.
Maybe you didn't go to college in this timeline. No, yeah, right. Me neither. I don't know. I'm wasting my money and time. All right, guys, I'm gonna close it out. I guess I've already signed the 6 books I sold. You're very welcome. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego. So when I got 13 people on
The
here.
numbers.
Oh, enjoy your shirt, bro. So that was actually kind of fun.
energy of the bar is very scattered, but what she does with it is that she rounds the edges. So even though there might be a lot going on down there, or there might be nothing going on down there, the energy that is in that space, she rounds and she softens the edges.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, that there's love, that there's connection, it's safe, she's not going anywhere. You know, cats will wander off if they've done their job. They can actually wander off to another person anytime. So, you know, does she go outside? She hasn't told me that.
No, there has been no outside, but I have a porch that I am going to have fixed by spring that they'll be outside on.
Oh, so they'll have a screened-in porch.
Screened-in porch, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Probably put cat towers out there too.
And the thing to really, as a guardian, owner, whatever, however you want to see yourself, you know, these are your kids and you're a parent. So, you know, letting them know, hey guys, you know, bar's kind of slow right now. I need to hang around. I was planning on going on my vacation because everybody knew you were going on your vacation, whether you said it or not.
Ooh.
But it's nice to oh yes, so it's nice for you just to verbalize that and bring it out for clarity. They already knew you were going.
Wow.
And yeah, because they perceive things. They don't know about future stuff. They just know what you're thinking, kind of,
Okay.
or your emotions, whatever you want to say. Anyway, they already knew, but it's nice for you to remind them that hey, it's coming up, because they don't think in the future. So it's great for you, like when you leave the house or you go downstairs, wherever you're going to go, hey guys, I got to go to the grocery store. See you in about an hour or 2. They don't know what an hour or 2 is, but they know that they will see you again.
Okay.
That's what they need to hear, is they see you again. So yeah, just say, hey, I'm going to go on this vacation, and I think it's going to be around in a couple weeks. They don't know what a couple weeks is, but it's not right now. And then you just, you know, get closer. Just say, hey, well, now I've turned my plans up. I'm going to be heading out to wherever, and this is when I'll be back. And guess what? Jade's going to come up and spend some time with you. Okay? So that way they're clear, you're clear, and because again, see, they're on that different plane. I don't know if I can't remember if it was you or somebody else I did this with, but I think of the communication spectrum like a rainbow. Each species is communicating on a different color, not on a sign. You know what I'm saying? So like we might speak on the blue. Cats might speak on the red. but there's a different wavelength, there's a different space where communication is flowing between species. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like characters are different than they normal or used to be. I don't know. I'm sure they just changed them. You know, I'm sure it just happened. But and it's still a steel and crackle.
Something I wanted to mention in my last video, and should have had a little clip to add to it. Didn't do it. Snap, Crackle, Pop Rice Krispies. Those characters, for me, I don't know, maybe a month ago, were smaller. These characters were small, little Snap, Crackle, Pop. 100% guaranteed for me. I look back on all my old videos and there's no clear shots, like in this one right here, of any of the characters. They're blurry. You can tell they're bigger. There's hints or clues that it is bigger, just like this. And I kind of expected that. And at first it was weird to see this. And I noticed it in the supermarket. Just showed that clip, I'm assuming. And then I came home and looked at this, and that freaked me out because I knew they were small here. And I figured, all right, they just changed the characters. And I come home and these are big. The scene was different. That doesn't bother me. They could change that every month or every week or whatever they do. But these were smaller characters. The animation was smaller. So that kind of shows me, all right, there's been a shift. It's small, it's mild, it's, you know, it's not something a lot of people are going to notice. Also, I'll go ahead here and mention the Thanksgiving thing again. Yes, I remember. Now it's come back to me because of a comment somebody made. Thanksgiving was always the third Thursday of November, and now it's always the fourth. Now, strangely enough, there are 5 Thursdays in November this year and next year. Or was it last year and this year? It was last year and this year. So that could have something to do with the way I was looking at things as well. One of the things that I really wanted to touch on is the whole, everything you do is really for you. There are other people interacting in your life, and if you do something to hurt them, they're only going to receive that if they need to for them. Otherwise, the whole circumstance could be something different for them. And I was putting it in terms of death, because death, we've noticed, some of us have, is a catalyst to noticing Mandela effects. And there was a video I did and I edited it out. It's too esoteric. No, it's too taboo. You know, death. Oh my God, if you die. Oh, what about suicide? Well, look, don't go killing yourself. What I've found from talking with other people is every time they attempt to kill themselves, they fail. But they notice that close people in their life don't talk to them anymore, or are very quiet around them. That's because in where their dominant consciousness is, they succeeded in killing themselves. You know, and you're going to still live and experience life and learn the things and do the things you need to do or want to do or whatever. And those people will not be in your life as much. You know, I think if you die, I think that's what happens. So then I had this thought where when I accidentally impaled myself and then noticed the heart moved and started noticing Mandela effects and changes and things, and especially with family members, that I realized, well, I've spoken with these people a lot more. I've seen them a lot more. Of course, I moved across the country shortly after another accident where I could have died. So I became further from them. I don't see them practically at all. Okay, so they're far removed from my life. I still speak with them on the phone and such, and that's simply shifting into a timeline because they haven't died for me in my life, but I may have died for them in their life. And what happened was recently, I've spoken with one who, when I was in Mississippi, talked with them, and they just blew me off as, oh, another conspiracy theory, ha ha ha, that's it. And now they, a couple of years later, now they've been affected. So what I think may have happened was, down when I was in Mississippi, I may have been dead for them in their dominant conscious timeline. And bringing them into the Mandela effect shifted them back into a timeline where I was alive. And for them, that's just the way it always was. It's not like I came back from the dead like Muhammad Ali or Michelle Nichols for me, or Gene Wilder every 10 years. It wasn't like that. They came back with a memory that their consciousness shifted into a timeline where I was always alive, and they accepted the download, accepting that information. I don't know how else to put it. So, so yeah, if yeah, that brings a lot to view, but it's for each individual. And you're going to reside where your vibration resides. And that's another thing. A lot of people are, hey, things are tough and it's scary because of the Mandela effect, and it can be. And I think you got to get past that, because that's when you're free. You're free, and especially with the death as a catalyst, and killing yourself don't work. You don't get out. It's not how you're going to do it. So forget that. If somebody attempts to kill you and they succeed for them in their timeline, you died for them in their timeline, and they're screwed because they got to live with that or pay the consequences or whatever. But you didn't have any interaction with that at all. Whatever happened for you in that scene, but you continued to live, whether it was just an argument or a knife fight or whatever. You survived where your dominant consciousness is, period. You're going to survive. It's your movie, it's your show. I just babbled and I don't know how long. I had it on pause.